Hey everybody, my name's Bob. Hey, today we're in the shop. We're supposed to be getting rain today. I haven't had a fire on in here in a couple of days, and it is chilly, very chilly. But get to the subject at hand. I'm going to do a little 3-month review on the Hisun Sector 750 2022. I've had it now for 3 months. The joys of it are it's working not too bad. It pushes snow really good. We have some minor issues with it. And I'm going to say partly on me, partly on the guys putting it together. So we're going to look at the front end here first, and I'm going to crank you down. I'm just going to show you. This is a KFI. This is KFI plow. Yeah. KFI plow that they sell with the unit, and it works not too bad. I will admit it's not too bad. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have hit a couple of rocks with it. And I hit a couple of rocks because I don't know why. I just did. I lost a bolt. I replaced the bolt. I sheared the bolt off. I got to replace it again. And to replace it, it's got a funny shape to it. One of the things that did happen, and I don't know why, but it sheared bolts. Now this is the plate. This is the plate that was on it. This mounts on up on the frame. This is supposed to be a 90-degree bend, not the bend it is. And the bumper bolts, which the bottom of the bumper bolts to the frame through these bolt holes into the frame, and then on these bolt holes goes up to the bottom of the frame on the same tube. Now this bracket, Hisun, I called the Hisun dealer, ordered it, and it was out of stock. Now this plate is not even a 1/4 inch thick. And it's, like I said, the bolts sheared. And when the bolt sheared, the plow dropped off while I was moving forward. I don't know why it took that opportunity to fall out. And the bolts were backed out of the bumper part. So I don't know. I think maybe the bolts weren't tight enough and they vibrated loose. I've got 3.5 miles of trail I keep open so I can do my business in the bush. And I just get a little frustrated sometimes because, like, I'm going to show you what I've plowed with for the last 18 years. Now, the other thing is, I couldn't get the bracket from Hisun. So I went through a company. Let's see if their name is on this or not. I may have to go sort of searching for it. But this is a KFI. This is a KFI mount, and it comes with all the mounting hardware, some extra bracketing to give you spacers, the whole bit. And the bolts that were in the Hisun, there's no grade mark on the strength of bolt. These ones all say 8.8. And I didn't have any pipe dope to put it on with, so I ended up using pipe dope. as opposed to thread lock, I should say. As opposed to thread lock, you know, the blue or the red, I didn't have Loctite. That's the word, Loctite. Words fail me. Anyways, so the Loctite, I didn't have any Loctite, so I used just plumber's putty, like, you know, the stuff you'd put on your threads for doing plumbing. It helps, it works. And anyways, if there's a part number on this, quantity, figure, I may have to go to my phone. Check. Let's go to the old phone and see what it says. I will say the company I dealt with was pretty good. Let's see, where are they? I dealt with L1FE Outdoors ATV. They were good. So order number. Let's see if there's a part number here. Let's go down here. Down here. Yeah, they just listed as a L1 Hisun Sector plow mount. And yeah. But I found these guys online. They're pretty good. They were about 2.5 hours away. It would have been faster for me to probably drive down and go get it. But they shipped it. The shipping wasn't too bad. Because it was over $100, the shipping is free. So there is that. That is good. But it's a heavier mount. The mount's made here in Canada, if that's a plus to anybody. But it's double the thickness of the Hisun mount. And the Hisun mount only has one mounting spot, whereas the other one, I should have filmed it, but it has an this, instead of this only being a short section, it runs the whole way. And they've come up the front with the mount here for the plow, so they give you a higher point. So off this one here, I found the bars that hang down off the bottom of the plow were dragging in the snow. So I don't know how much they were hitting on the dirt, whether that was a factor or what, but that could be some of it. Anyways, we'll go to the back here. Now, the biggest problem I've found with this is loose nuts and bolts. Like I said, this thing pushes snow really, really good. Whether it's because it's a 750 or whether it's because it's the size. I've done a lot of my plowing in two-wheel drive. When I get up in the bush, I gotta use four-wheel drive. But down here in the driveway, I can do it two-wheel drive. Even hauling all those logs and everything that I've been hauling, I've all been doing that in two-wheel drive. It doesn't need, like when there's no snow and you're just on the trail, and the trails, like I've maintained these trails for 40 plus years. You know, we ran the tractors over them. They used to be wide enough to take a truck down, and over time they've grown over, because what I've done all my wood work, all my wood hauling with and snow plowing with has been this Arctic Cat 400 right here. Now, I can tell you, this Arctic Cat is a 2006, and it is a 400 all-time four-wheel drive. I've had it since it was brand new. Other than oil changes and batteries, the thing's been phenomenal. This is the original plow that I bought with it, and it's got to the point after 17 or 18 years of plowing, it wants to fall off every so often while you're plowing. But that's the Swift off mounts are worn. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted something new for plowing and doing the work. Because after 18 years of abuse, things start to get worn and need to be replaced. And I don't know how much longer the old girl's going to hold up. We'll find out. And yeah. So there you go. Oh, it doesn't have an hour meter on it, and it does not have a speedometer. So I don't know how far I've driven it. I don't know how many hours are on it. It just keeps going. But it's getting harder for me to get off and on it with my leg the way it is. So hence that. Now I'm going to show you something else on the Hisun. But there's the comparison between the Hisun side by side and a four-wheeler. There's not really much to compare other than they both can do the job. The Hisun will push way more snow than the four-wheeler will. They have the exact same size snowplow on them. And when I figured, when you're pushing snow, if you got 4 inches of snow, it should take, so long to push that 4 inches, and away you go. And I can whip the four-wheeler around pretty quick in circles and stuff to go back around. But the Hisun seems to do it in less time. If it was taking me an hour and a half, or an hour and 45 minutes to plow the main part of the driveway here, so I've got the main part of the driveway is 90 feet long. Then I've got a spot in front of the house that I make it 2.5 cars wide and 50 feet long. And then I've got another spot that is 3 cars wide that's 50 feet long. And the reason I do that is, where do you put the snow? Because last year we've got 17 feet total accumulation for the year. We were getting dumped on 4 feet at a time at some points. So you've got to have a place to push that snow and pile it. I've had piles that were 30 feet deep and 5 or 6 feet high some years. And they're as wide as 3 cars. So what do? And then the trail through the bush, it's usually 1.5 machines wide, and like I said, about 3 miles total, because all the side trails and stuff to get into different spots, and parking lots I put in up in the bush so that I got room to park when I'm working, and I got spots where I can turn around, so I can turn the trailer and everything around, because sometimes you need to turn all that stuff around somewhere, right? So you got to push all that around. It adds up. It does add up. And it can be a lot of fun. It can be a pain in the butt. Depends on how bad it's snowing. So one thing I will say is the windshield on these makes it so much better, because if you can see here how much snow this got, well, on the four-wheeler you're eating it. That's right in your face. So we go around here and you can see here how much snow's in the cab though. You got a big pile over there on that floor and a pile on that seat. And I find that when you're traveling forward and it's snowing, it's swirling in and coming in this way. It lands on your lap and everything else. So I've got a rear window coming. Hopefully we will have that rear window in on this video, because it should be here any moment. And I'll try to continue the video when it gets here. But for right now, we're going to pause, and we'll get back to it. Okay, everybody, I got the package in the mail. Or package on the doorstep. Amazon's a great thing. They just showed up like when I turned the camera off. So what you get is a nice box here. Is what you get. So we get a box. The instructions are on top. They're pretty simple. Just shows you up and down and which way. And let's see how this is going to fit. We'll open the box. Nice neat package. Back you up a bit. I still don't know how I got the front facing camera to work. So I just got to figure out what's the top and what's the bottom. We got 3 straps at the top, or this side. It says 3 straps are the top, and the straps that dangle down are inward facing. Okay, so that means this goes on. So I go up here. It goes around that way. So the strap goes around the outside. I'm gonna have to take my gloves off. It's pretty chilly in here. I don't really want to do that yet. I'm going to stick that like that. I'm going to check to see if you guys can see what I'm seeing. Yeah. Okay. And I got to take my license plate off. That sucks. I think I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to get... Yeah, I got to take my license plate off. I have a new spot for it. Oh, good thing I have a screwdriver right here. I may end up having to mount something up here or something for it. I don't know yet. Or maybe pop rivet it to the tailgate. That would be the other thing. As long as the tailgate doesn't fall off, I'll have a license plate. They put really long bolts on these seats, headrests. Sounds like my fire's kicking up a notch. I'll damper it down. Oh. I tell you, if you keep a fire on in here, even with the walls not insulated very well, it's just aspenite and siding, it's a brick, I can keep it about 40 degrees in here, 35 or 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, what is that, 60, no, the 17 degrees Celsius, somewhere in there. I think. I think my fingers are freezing, even through these cotton gloves. That sucks. I gotta take them off. don't know. I think that's backwards, in a way. Although, you wouldn't be able to get at the zipper unless you got it on this way. So, although, it's got a zipper on both sides. Check that drawing. So you guys, you're still recording. See how that sagged in the middle at the top? Up in here. That don't make sense to me. Because I think this should be... I don't know. I'm going to turn it around. What's the worst case scenario? I get it wrong? I think these should be out where you can get at them. Not hard to get at. Like, see, we don't want to anyway. Okay, that's going that way. And I have to roll up the inside, which you don't want to do. So it has to go on this way. Okay, alright, yep. You're supposed to straighten this out first. I'm going to pull out the box. See? It has to go this way. There's no this end of the box. Up goes around. Oh, you see like that. Let's see. Goes around tight. Through here. And over there. And this one. It's going to go around tight. And it caught on the seatbelt bracket. So you see it goes around the pipe too. Now we're going to lift that up, put this up in there. I don't know how I'm going to get the top to go because it looks like it wants to sag. But then again, as we tighten it up, the sag should come out of it, right? I would hope. We'll get you over here, kind of angle you there. Man. Okay, go around here, through that strap. This one. And around. Through the Velcro. Take it up higher. This one through. Velcro there. Now, I think it's going to look okay. Well, you guys tell me in the comments what you think, whether it's going to look okay or not. Push that under. Okay, let's get this one up. I can see where it might make some noise going down the road because it's not going to be very tight at the top, but I think with some maybe two-sided tape or something to hold it up in there, it should work. We'll find out. We'll get it on and tight and see actually what it's like. Yeah. I don't run the roads that much, but when I do, it would be for an hour because it would take me 15 minutes on the highway with a car or a truck to go to town, and if I have to go in on this thing on the back roads, it would take an hour one way probably, and to go to the nearest gas station would be at least a half an hour if I have to go. If it's inclement weather and I got to get out, I need gas for the generator or something, that would be the only thing, right? Because that's where you're really worried about stuff. Okay, get that up in there. Okay, that's nice and tight there. Now, you know, we'll find out. This may or may not be the cat's ass, you know, but you never know. Now, that being said, I may have to put some elastics on these to keep them from flopping. Somehow, I thought those should have been. No, this has to go on this way. There's no way around it because you got to have this fairly tight, right? Like you can't go on the other way. It would come in on the other side of the tube, which wouldn't work. Which would not work at all. Next thing is I'll be getting a set of doors. Hopefully, they'll be canvas like these, and hopefully they are not too weird to install. Come on, get in there. These ones here, they got to feed. They got to feed down in here. The thing is, you can still turn your head and look out the back window. You still be able to turn your head and look. So I still think like this is on the way it's got to be on, because if you went the other way, like let's give you a close up here. This, how's that look? Yeah, we can see that good now. So this Velcro has to go this way. There's no way around it. It has to go like that and like that to make it tight. Now, that's tighter. That's definitely tighter. My only concern is when you're rolling up this window, I'll turn the light so you can see. So when you're rolling up the window, these straps, you would think you'd roll it up from out here, right? But I don't see how you would do that, because these straps, if you throw it around the other way, they don't work, because it's got to go around this side and out. It's the only way I can figure it out. It has to go like that. We'll try it, see what it's like. I might have it on backwards, but I doubt it. I doubt it quite a bit. Oh. Let's see how the zipper and the roll-up works. Right? Now, can you guys see with that light? Much better than before. So, okay, so I zip this way and around to there. I'll find out this summer, because if I don't get doors, I can't see needing to open the back window. And I'm thinking, I found when I was carrying sawdust, I was carrying sawdust away from the mill to dump up there on the blueberry bushes. The sawdust was blowing in the cab with me. Makes it hard to see. So, anyways, that's that. I think I can okay, we'll let that. That shouldn't be too bad. We'll find out. Anything to keep the snow out of the cab. Anything to keep the snow out of the cab. Because that's always a problem. So now it looks more like a Jeep. More and more all the time. So now the only question is, the bolts that have come loose on this, they're frustrating. Was it the manufacturer's fault? Maybe. Was it the vibrations? Maybe. Hopefully I can figure out what the hell's going on with the bolt situation, and go from there and find out what's rattling. It doesn't rattle all the time. First I thought the rattle came from the plow, because the plow was at first the vibration noise was coming from the front end, and just before the plow fell off and bent the bracket, that's when it was making the noise. So it did give me an indication it was going to break. Did not give me an indication as to what it was. And please like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Thank you to all my subscribers that I've picked up in December. I appreciate you all. And I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. And going into the new year, I hope everybody is healthy and happy and looking forward to a brighter future. Y'all take care now. Bye.